In this video, we are gonna fix the one problem that I have with both of these cars, and that is the one thing that they both share, the T56 transmission. The Cobra's is attached to the motor right at the front, and the C6 is attached at the back where the differential is for better weight distribution, but it is the same transmission. Later, C6 has got a different Tremec unit, but we're gonna talk about the T56 because I've got both of these. This also applies to Dodge Vipers and many other cars that have the T56 transmission. And we're gonna fix this for $5. Yeah, you Americans, $5. I'm gonna link the part you need in the description below. Canadians, it'll cost you about 10 bucks. That's it. Now, every time you see one of these guys out, the wobbly socket, you know you're in for a good time. The Cobra is gonna be much more difficult to do this mod, still relatively easy, but the Corvette is gonna be very, very easy to do just because of access to this one bolt. So there's this one bolt in both of the transmissions located right at the top, same side on both of them, and all it does is put pressure on the actual shifter. So my biggest problem with driving this Cobra, even after I did the Steeda triax shifter, which did help immensely, it still didn't solve my problem 100%. Basically, the problem I've had, especially with the Cobra, is that it's not easy to get into each gear. The Steeda triax made it way easier, but this mod is going to help it so much more. Basically, it blocks each gate every single time you try and get into it. So it's almost like there's another shift point in between every single shift point. So when you're shifting from first to second, you have to force it in, it blocks it. So let me just show you what that looks like right now. Now, in my experience, shifting both of these cars, it's not as bad on the C6, but it is way easier to get to that bolt. So now that I have this thing up on the lift, I'm gonna show you where that bolt is on the Corvette. But I'm not actually gonna do the mod on the Corvette, but I'll show you exactly how to do it. I will be doing the mod on the Cobra, which will be more extensive, and I'll show you exactly how that's done with the parts and everything and bolting it back in. So let's get the Cobra out of the garage, get underneath that Corvette, and I'll show you exactly what we're dealing with and what tools we're gonna need. It's not much, trust me. This is it, all the tools you're going to need. And by the way, this is called the Antivenom mod. It actually originated, I believe, from C5 Corvettes, because they also had the T56 transmission, and I think they had a worse shifting experience than the C6s. So, you're gonna need a 15/16, this is a 12-point socket. This is the one I'm probably gonna end up using, or a 24mm, this is a 6-point socket. You're gonna need some sort of wobbly extension, and then an assortment of other extensions, which you will have to figure out what you need, what works best for you. Now, I'm gonna show you exactly where it is in relation to the car. Just gonna turn on the light so you guys can see. So in relation to the car, let's just get right under here, right under the wheel, and the transmission is right here. So, if I get this camera way up here, you see that shiny bolt right there? Right in the middle, it's got like a little bit of a detent on it. That's the bolt you want to take out. Now, that's the problem, is that there's no real access to this, but on the C6, because of where this transmission is mounted, there's actually way more access than there is on the Cobra. So all you want to do is take out that one bolt right there, and you want to shim it with two little washers that are meant for a drain plug. It is honestly really easy to do on this car. So I'm gonna show you the more difficult one. So let's get the Cobra in here now and really put our thinking caps on for all the extensions and all that stuff. So this will give us a good idea of where the location of it is on the Cobra, obviously at the front of the vehicle. And as you can see, much, much more difficult to access because of the transmission tunnel. There is no room for anything. So I got my wobbly socket and all the extensions that I needed to make this work. And honestly, I'd be lying to you if this took me 5 minutes. This took me about 40 minutes because you can only get a couple turns at a time with the wobbly socket. So this was a neck craning exercise. If you're doing this on the ground, I feel really bad for you, but you can definitely do it. So once you get the bolt out, you can see that it kind of rolls around at the tip and you can actually push it in, and that's the resistance that you're feeling. So what you want to do is take these copper washers, and some people recommend 1 or 2. I went straight to 2 because of the shifting experience in the Cobra. And all you do is put it right back in where it came from. And this was also more difficult than I thought. I ended up using a magnetic attachment to just get the bolt in there and then start it with whatever fingers I was able to start it with. And that's really all there is to it. I've seen some people drop the transmission cross member to get more access. Probably a wise decision. Now, playing with your knob in the garage is one thing, but let's take this thing out on the road now that it's warmed up. Oh yeah! Oh, so much better. Now I can actually bang gears. This is what I wanted from this Cobra. Every single time before, it would just block me between every single gate. Let's see how the downshifts are. Oh yeah, buttery. Oh, come on. This is the mod you guys need to do. Huge difference. Like, wow. For the couple dollars that I spent in the hour and a half of my time, let's do a little drift here. I love this Cobra. Yeah. Probably the best mod I've done so far. Dollar to fun ratio. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I've done to this car that I absolutely love. Blower wine and all. But man, that shifting experience is so much better. You know what? I might even do it to the C6 Z06, even though it never really had that notchiness that this one does. But the difference that this made, maybe I'll throw 1 washer in to the Z06 and I'll see how that goes. Follow me on Instagram if you want more information on that, if I ever actually do that. But for 1 socket and a couple extensions, a couple minutes of your time on the Corvette and a little bit more on the Cobra, this is an incredible mod. I can't recommend this enough. I'm not going to take any credit for making this mod or creating it or anything like that. It's been around since, I think, the C5 Corvette, like I said. So, man, what a difference this makes. Like, just all the little detents and stuff, it's just so much easier to shift. Let's see, get it into first gear. Oh, yeah, this is so much better, especially like high RPM shifting. And let's just do another rip. All right. I don't know if you can tell from the colors outside, but it's getting to be fall here in Ontario, so I'm gonna have my fun for the next month, and then I gotta put my cars away for the winter. So the fun driving season's over for the most part. Winter drifting and whatnot is gonna happen. I don't know how much of that I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna put the Cobra and the Z06 away, but I still have the E55 AMG wagon to daily drive, which is also rear wheel drive, and the Raptor for the winter. That's my update for now. Thanks for watching. Highly recommend this modification. Do it to any T56 transmission car. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Wow, missed the shifter.